Alright. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. We got ourselves another episode of the Florencio Files, fresh here on the new patch in the top left side, playing Terran in this one. It is my mind's eye, aka Florencio. Down in the bottom right side, we've got Montreal SYF going for a 12 pool. Okay, 12 pool. Now, I think Flo's probably playing random, and this is a lot of players' response to playing random. They're like, I don't know what your race is. Ah, God, man, you're probably going to cheese me. I'm going to cheese you first. I'm going to, maybe not necessarily a cheese if you don't take a gas with this, but I'm going to rush with the 12 pool, get across the map and try to cause some damage. And Flo, he's going for a gas first. The problem is Flo normally does wall off that ramp. And look at that, he's actually spamming clicks here. Wow. He just started the barracks the second his depot finished. And he's queuing SCVs. This is insane. This is a... Florencio must have had his coffee this morning, guys. Oh, it's okay. He's forgotten to put on gas for a few seconds. Quite a few seconds. Okay, good. It is Florencio. Just checking, guys. I thought he might be using Adderall or some other performance-enhancing drug. I was worried for a moment. Now, he's playing quite blind this game, is Florencio, as he takes that double gas. I love it. 2 gas geysers, but only one mining the first gas. From perfect focus to getting the barracks down like the second he could, to queuing up a depot 20 seconds before he can even build it, to now finally remembering to put on gas. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. Back where we want it to be. Now, luckily for him, like I said, he's walling off, and he almost always does wall off. So, there we go. It's not too big a problem. We've got the Zergings coming across the map right now, and looks like behind it, a hatchery into double gas. Well, there's build orders, and then there's build orders. Ugh. I think Montreal's build is definitely the latter. There's... Why are we making a lair? What is this? Such a dumb build. It's so dumb. I mean, I like the split on the Zergings. That's actually pretty nice by Montreal. Florencio says, get out of my base, you dickhead. He's got a lot of minerals. He's going to go for an orbital straight away and another command center. This is a distinctly un-Florencio build order right now. Very interesting. Okay. So... Montreal is up on 16 drones, building a few more. So I think what's interesting is Montreal has completely gutted their mineral income to afford this very fast layering gas. So I think a good analogy for this is basically someone, selling their warm clothes just before winter, their blankets, so that they can buy a fancy new flat screen TV, you know? Wasn't that a funny phrase, flat screen TV? I just said that and I kind of was like, that's an antiquated term. Aren't they all flat screens? They used to not, right? They used to be a bit curved when we were younger. I remember I did have one TV we got as like a hand-me-down from my grandparents growing up that like the panel was all wood on the side, and I was like, absolutely stunning. And it had the really thick kind of square buttons on it that you like press in and were like really satisfying, tangible thing. And it had like the turning big metal knob on it to like tune in the TV channels and everything. It was bloody awesome. All right, guys. Anyways, it looks like there's a drop coming in right now. Okay, 6 Zerglings. Montreal's like, yeah, come and get some, mate. That's right. You weren't expecting me to get past your wall in, were you? And of course, runs into the mineral line, runs into a full bunker, and is like, why? Why would you ever build a frigging bunker in the back of your mineral line? It makes no sense. And Florencio says, and that's exactly why it makes sense. You'll never expect it. Oh, it's got to be painful. Now, to be fair, Montreal's going 1-base swarm host. Okay, I was pooping on Montreal's build order. I'm down with it now, guys. I am actually down with it now. This is actually my build order. I apologize for everything I said. I've made a terrible mistake. I just insulted the build order a whole bunch. And I'm like, wait a second, this is the 1-base swarm host Nidus build order, isn't it? Now, to be fair, it's not done exactly the way I would normally do it. They've forgotten to build a queen. They're also trying to take a 3rd gas when they desperately need minerals because they still haven't even finished filling up their main mineral line. And they don't have a Nidus swarm. They're just running the swarm host across the map, which is, of course, not as efficient. This game's going to turn into an absolute hot mess, though. Florencio's trying to erect a planetary here, and that should get up just in time, I think, to defend these swarm hosts. Hellions can kind of kite a little bit, and... What? Why would you build a sensor tower in your main... Are you... Florencio really, sometimes he reminds me of my old mate. He's still a very good friend to this day. Let's just imagine his name is Rick. Happens to rhyme with his real name. And we used to play Dota, and he would literally just always build the wrong items because he wanted to be creative. I think sometimes Florencio's like that. Like he's like a young artist just slapping paint across the wall to see what shapes form. You know, he's searching for inspiration. This is not his masterpiece, this sensor tower, but it's just him putting things out there and seeing what works. It's much like seeing a comedian on stage, you know, throwing out some jokes that aren't necessarily the most refined. They're not that funny. There's maybe something in the premise, but the way they deliver it just doesn't really land. And maybe a few years down the track, you know, the random sensor tower on the edge of the main turns into some sort of genius maneuver. You go, that's so smart. It fits into a bigger puzzle and all the pieces click together and you go, yeah. But right now you're basically just hearing, you know, a guy like, I'm thinking of like, I've seen like, you know, stand up, what was it? There was a really funny, does anyone remember, was it The Beauty and the Geek? That show was friggin' hilarious, right? So they get like a bunch of geeky guys and a hot chick and they're competing for her attention or whatever. It's the dumbest, you know, scripted reality TV or whatever. This one bit did not come off as scripted at all, right? Maybe it was, if it was genius. But basically they made these geeks do stand up. You know, they did like a little, I don't know if they did like a course, but they basically had to all go in this club and do like a minute or two of stand up. And one of them got up there and started joking about how he like couldn't get with girls and just got really aggressive, basically calling them like dumb bitches and stuff like that. And it was like, and it came off, I know he was trying to be funny and he was tapping into like his experience and trying to amplify it in a joking way, but he wasn't very experienced with the delivery, and it really just came off as way too authentic with everything he said. It was like, it just immediately kind of made your skin crawl a bit. You're like, oh God, you're like, don't, please stop. And he just kept going, and like the rant was like, you know, sometimes you see like a Bill Burr build energy and get really ranty in a bit, and you think it's really, really funny. And you could tell he was trying to do that. But I don't think most people could tell because it came off really bad. Anyways, this is from like decades ago, but it was a classic thing. If anyone can find the clip of that, link it up. I'm sure someone out there remembers it. This is the beauty of making content on the internet. I can remember some obscure thing from 20 years ago, have no idea what it was called, and someone will find the link. And it probably won't be half as funny as I remember it. But you know what? That's the beauty of our human memory. Sometimes it jazzes things up a little bit, doesn't it? Anyways, the Swarmos keep hitting the planetary. The Cyclone Hellion Banshee's over here right now. The Hydra's dancing back and forth. You know what, guys? Montreal's economy absolutely sucks diddlies. All of the Swarmos got hunted down by the Banshees and the Cyclones right there. But the Hydra's actually kind of counter these units decently enough. So I feel like as long as you keep an overseer with those Hydras, you know, pop the eyeball back into the head, get mobile again, you could take him down. The problem for Montreal is, of course, their economy just absolutely sucks. Why are we taking more gas? You're not even mining that gas. You're still not fully mining from the main. You're only at 14 workers. And why are we going to go upgrades right now? Oh my God. It's crazy that we have +1, both Hydra upgrades, movement speed and range. And we have nothing on the economy front. So Montreal is truly I will make a good army and I will never have an economy behind it. This is like the opposite of how Zerg normally plays. It's kind of cool. It's kind of fresh. It actually makes it kind of hard because I know Florencio is known for throwing units away and throwing away advantages. So he actually has a big economy advantage in this game, but for how long is that going to last? Florencio probably needs to start taking those gases on the natural. He's going fusion core. He's also getting hyperflight rotors, so he's going for Banshee speed. Another Cyclone gets picked off. Man, these Hydras, yeah, they're able to deny the third base from being taken. And actually, a bunch of drones just came out. If Montreal keeps droning, gets back up to 40, 50 drones, takes a third and fourth, they're definitely in an okay position. Florencio just chilling on those Banshees, looking to deny the base right now. The repair boys come over, and guys, nothing feels better than 6 SCVs simultaneously drilling you. That Cyclone just absolutely got there, if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, geez, that SCV's getting a bit of a feel up in return as well. My lord. I don't know what they're doing to him, but he's absolutely... That's a knee-shaking experience, absolutely. Anyways, Banshee's coming in with speed right now. Do we have... He's already got Cloak. Flo already has Cloak. And the Swarmos are being rebuilt. Montreal loves the Swarmos. I love it. It's actually really cutesy. 36 workers versus 49. Flo's still in the advantage. He does manage to get a Banshee. Nice snipe for Montreal. Oh, is he going to go for the Infestor? Oh, look at that. He's going to get for the Infestor. Oh, he's going to intercept the Swarmos rally. Very cute, but the Infestor could fungal it. Watch out, Florencio. Watch out, mate. You're going to get fungled. Okay. Oh, he's trying to dance around. Look at it. Is he trying to bait the fungal? He does. He baits the fungal out. He dodges it. Florencio says, mate, I've got movement speed. I can dance all day. He's trying to get single shots off right now. while floating 1,000 minerals. This is like absolutely Florencio science school at its best. It's like, I will get 2 shots off. Is this an effective use of your APM? No, but it's all about the psychology. He just wants to annoy his opponent. His opponent wants to push him and throw swarm hosts. And the Banshee is just luring him around in circles, not letting him. He's trying to bait another fungal as well. I guarantee you, he wants to bait another fungal and dodge it. This is some fun little play here from Flo. And oh, Battlecruiser goes in. There is only 2 queens and 1 spore at home. The queen and the spore will do decent damage to that battlecruiser. The other queens could come down there. He's going to try and build hydralisks. Need to build more spore crawlers. A battlecruiser easily beats 1 spore crawler on its own, guys. Battlecruiser is a 700 resource unit. Hydra's coming out as well to try and defend, but they're not going to be enough. The Banshee gets itself a swarm host on the way across the map. Florencio being such a nuisance. He's going to get another one. A wave of locusts going into the main, but notice Florencio is pulling back his units right now. And oh, the locust just got F2'd home. Oh, the select all army key. Oh, sweet summer child. The battlecruiser does get picked off though, so that is one thing that went well there for Montreal. But what a bummer to see those locusts, you know? Imagine that, being born with one purpose, destroy the enemy, and then you get pulled away from that purpose. This Banshee is still being... Okay, this here is... I nickname her Karen. This is Karen the Banshee. Her whole job is to shout at the Zerg every time he moves out. I demand to see the manager. This is unacceptable. The Banshee is always right. She basically is just like nails on a chalkboard, levels of friggin' entitled and friggin' annoying. And yeah, her whole job is basically to take this service industry Zerg's life that already is, it's not a Jeff Bezos level life. It's not really, it's not necessarily bad, but they, you know, they work hard. The last thing they need is a Karen Banshee screaming at them in their entitled manner, being a piece of shizzle. Anyways, Locust gonna come in. Oh, actually gets a few SCVs there with the tank friendly fire from the high ground. But very good repair micro for Flo. Good focus fire though. Montreal actually focuses down a few repairing SCVs. That was kind of slick. Looks like 7 SCVs died on this, but I think some died to friendly fire as well that maybe don't show up on that tab. 40 SCVs versus 36 in Flo's favor, but it's still 2 base versus 2 base. And as long as these Hydras keep trading decently, it's not too bad, but looks like that base attempt does get denied. Cyclone's trying to pick off the Overseers as well. Now, this is fun because this is Florencio with the new Cyclone. I cast a game recently where I thought it was the new Cyclone on the PTR and it just wasn't, and I was a complete moron. I don't know how I got that wrong. But yeah, basically, this is actually the new Cyclone, and he doesn't have the speed upgrade for it. So they're 3.94. They can get up to, I think, 4.72, so almost 1 full extra movement speed if you get that upgrade. And oh no, Florencio gets caught out. Okay, nice moves here by Montreal. This is really good, but Florencio, he's got a battlecruiser there. He's going to teleport it in. Oh, the battlecruiser teleporting in. Careful, Montreal. You need to go home, mate. The battlecruiser distracting Montreal right now. Montreal's not turning around just yet. It's going to go for a fight here, but attacking around a corner. Oh no, and now clicks the whole army home to defend the battlecruiser. They only just noticed and they moved command their whole army. Because what happened is they didn't see that army. They looked back at the battlecruiser just as they crested this ridge. And they went, oh, I got to defend, F2, click home, thinking their army would go back this way. And it walked right through Florencio's army. Oh my god, the funny thing is, if they just stood and fought, I think Montreal could have won that fight, especially if they used Locust there. And now they lose all their Hydras, and oh, this is such a disaster. And Infestor gets picked off there as well. At least that should die. Fungal it. Don't you dare let that Infestor, that battlecruiser out. Oh my god, no Fungal. It gets away with 25 hit points. What a disaster. Now, of course, Florencio is not going to save it, because he wants to tilt his opponent, but I think he's going to lose the battlecruiser as the price for that. One more Hydra. He loses the battlecruiser, being a cheeky bugger. Is this still the Karen from... I think this is Karen. I think he repaired Karen. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a different Banshee. I'm going to assume this is Karen, though, and she got repaired up. Karen hanging out. Actually, she's only got 0 kills. It's okay, guys. It's like Batman. Batman dies and new one puts on the mask. This is the new Karen, all right? She's going to back away for now. We'll see if Florencio splits her off to be more annoying in the future. The Cyclone there picking off the Overseer. The funny thing is Florencio wasn't able to get a third this whole time. That's what's keeping him in not that great a position. But now he's got tanks and a third. He could be okay. And notice how our Zerg player definitely is just like the whole army on one control group, despite being a very fancy army this whole time. Lost a lot of drones there as well. They've lost 17 drones this game. And their economy is down in the gutter at 29 workers. This is like low economy StarCraft. This is definitely not... This is the bum fights of StarCraft ladder, let's be real. For anyone who doesn't know about bum fights, a very interesting film series, straight to DVD, made in the early 2000s. focused on some absolute psychopaths who should probably be put in prison, giving money to homeless people to make them fight each other. It kind of did the circuits around school back in the day. People thought it was very funny. Once again, proof that teenage boys with the wrong influences around, very easy to turn into psychopaths. Myself included. I'm not excluded from that, guys. I'm pretty sure I thought it was funny at the time. Anyways, Hellions, Tanks, and Banshee moving down the right side. Hydras and the Infestor and the Swarm hosts hanging out in the middle. The army's kind of crossing past each other. Hydras, if they can get a top, maybe. Oh, this is an awkward angle. Only half the army fighting for Montreal. Montreal's engagements. Oh, a battlecruiser teleported in again. So once again, they F2A move the army home. That's twice in a row. Florencio sets up an army on the front, teleports a battlecruiser in, and Montreal moves their army through his army. Oh, my lord. Oh, so many times this has been going wrong. Battlecruisers picking off Hydras right now. Florencio doing damage to so many different units at once. Oh, he does lose another battlecruiser there, but dude, the amount of times he's got the Zerg to move through him, this is nasty. Absolutely nasty. Montreal is so tech-focused. They made +2 range. They made carapace. They're now making a spy to counter the battlecruisers. You need drones, mate. You need an economy. You can't win the game without an economy, mate. You got to rebuild some drones. But it's always one Infestor, one Hydra, one Swarmers. And soon it's going to be like one Corruptor as well, I guess. This is a disaster of a macro game for Montreal. Truly peak StarCraft right now. As Florencio, is he just going to keep doing that same move? Siege the tanks on the front, teleport a battlecruiser in the back. I don't mind it. Oh, he's making Hurricane thrusters. He's getting Cyclone speed. He's discovered the Cyclone speed upgrade. They make 2 more battlecruisers as well, 2 Ghost Academies, and Yamato, the weapon refit upgrade for that. And nice Locust Wave. This is what I'm talking about. Montreal's pretty good at like focusing down important units. Look, even there, it focuses down the SCVs. Montreal has like not a macro bone in their body, but Montreal is actually friggin', you know, actually using a lot of interesting units really well. And a lot of people tell me like, man, I'm only Diamond, I can't use spellcasters. And I'm like, first of all, only Diamond, you're already in the kind of upper echelon of StarCraft, especially if you're Diamond 2 or Diamond 1. Diamond's a pretty massive league, big difference between Diamond 3 and Diamond 1. And I'm like, not only that, but I've seen legitimately gold players who, it's like, hey, they're like, man, I have fun with Infestors, I use Infestors every game, and they get really good with it, and I love seeing it. The macro leaves something to be desired, but we're seeing good Locust micro, we've seen a few decent Fungals this game as well. Unfortunately, Montreal is dealing with an absolute friggin' dirty man who's taking advantage. Hydra's trying to come back to defend. Hellion's trying to focus down a few drones. As long as the drone key gets held down, I do feel Montreal has a lot of room to recover in this game. Florencio is not on 5 bases, right? His main's mined out. His natural's almost gone. Yes, he's got 2 fresh bases, but he's kind of contained on 2 fresh bases for most of the game. If you can drone up, you can definitely get in a good position. And a Hive coming in as well could be useful. More Swarm hosts, more Hydras, and all the rest. Looks like Locust Hydra could maybe bust this planetary. The problem is you're going to use your whole army to do it, and then the Cyclones and the battlecruisers could get you. There's 3 battlecruisers out. They could teleport across the map. There's Cyclones going across for a counterattack as well. Locust trying to go after these SCVs right now. It's going to attack the planetary. It's already on 28 kills. Make it 30. Make it 35, I think, by the end of this little trade. Cyclones are going to run in here, damaging a Locust. Swarm host does throw those Locusts in there. Hydra's trying to pick off those Cyclones as well. This is pretty damn nice defense, actually. Now, just hold the drone key down and take a 4th. If Montreal can just take a 4th, take a 5th base. Honestly, they got this in the bag. The problem is, no, they don't, because there's 3 battlecruisers there, and there's only 12 Hydras to defend it. There's no Neural, there's no Corruptors, even though the Spire's ready. I think as soon as these Hydras attack this planetary, you know we're going to see these battlecruisers go across. Florencio's just waiting. Let's watch from Florencio's camera. He's sending Hellions across right now. He's like, hey, how do you like them drones? Well done. Florencio is the kind of man to go to a fine dining Argentinian steakhouse and order a very well done steak. He's a man who orders a bloody grade 8 Wagyu, extra marbled, and then cooks it until all the fat has rendered out into a soupy liquid upon which the crumpled remains of the meat still sits in. And that's exactly what he's doing to the Zerg's mineral line right now. Drone's completely gone from that base. Yes, he loses a planetary, but he kills the heart of the Zerg's economy. The Zerg's trying to take a new base, make some new Corruptors now. But man, only enough money for 6 Corruptors, and these battlecruisers are just running rampant. This man's making some extra crisp barbecue, and oh, once again, how many times in one game can he catch the opponent on the way home? Oh no! And none of those units defend themselves on their own. Corruptor's trying to come out, but look at that. Oh, triple Yamato. Did he just Yamato the same Corruptor 3 times? Sorry guys, we need an instant replay. Instant replay. Let's watch that one more time. Did I just see him Yamato the same Corruptor 3 times? Or was it 2 Corruptors? Where? I could be... Okay, so there's 4 Corruptors there, guys. Yamato's 3 times, there's 2 Corruptors remaining. He Yamato'd one of them twice. That's there for the psychological impact, guys. Does it make sense to behead your enemies and then catapult their heads over the city walls? Was that real? People are like, oh, Genghis Khan did that to spread disease. He didn't do it to spread disease, guys. Just them throwing a head into your city is not automatically going to spread disease. You know what is? It's going to cause psychological devastation. And that's what Florencio just did. Double Yamatoing a single Corruptor, just going, you know I don't need to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Now, some people would say, it's not intentional, Piggy, you just misclick. Guys, we're talking about the guy who we've seen specifically damage 10 different drones and purposely change targets to not kill them before. There is no way you can be that consistently good at doing the wrong thing unless you're trying to friggin' ruin your opponent's mentality. I mean, this man he's a picture-perfect case of psychopath. But, you know, rather than just being pure dominance, he definitely does play with his food a bit more than the Mongols. Let's be real. The Mongols would be like, you didn't give in. You refused to pay tribute. You resisted. We need to make an example. They'd have a full system for lining up the citizens and obviously, you know, basically removing their heads from them. And, you know, basically clearing out the population. I feel like Florencio... He definitely, he enjoys the torture, but he likes to keep giving them hope and pretending they have a chance of surviving, you know? He likes to make them think they can do it. And, oh my... The indecision on which way to run, Florencio. Oh my god! His ghost just ran left to try to nuke over here, guys. And he's just found all the overlords. Oh no! Oh no, 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 no! Oh my god! The Zergs lost so many units. They're only at 50 supply. You're not meant to be supply blocked at this point in the game, and yet they are. And oh my god, is he going to save the planetary? Florencio mass repairing right now. He's saving the planetary. Oh, it barely survives. Even with the furious revenge public urination maneuver from Montreal, it's not enough. The Ghost with 26 kills, including... so many overlords, 13 overlords. I think almost all of them died to that nuke. Oh my god, I'm not good with numbers. 13 times 8. That's a big number. That's a big number. Over 100 supply of overlords gone in an instant. Hellions are driving around, and at this point, I believe Florencio is risking not only getting kicked out of the Argentinian steakhouse, but also being physically assaulted. As someone who tried to order... I literally, last time I was in an Argentinian steakhouse, it was actually in Spain. The man gave me the dirtiest stink eye because I ordered a medium rare. And he looked at me and he said, no. And I was like, what? And he's like, rare. This one, rare. Like, with apparently the cut I ordered, he's like, I refuse to cook it anything but rare. And I was like, okay, I'll go with it, man. It was really good. His suggestion was totally correct. But I just love that level of confidence in your craft and cockiness. Coming in to, you know, and you're like, you tell the guy, Florencio is like, oh, okay, with his little sewer mermaid tail in the chair. You come back a few minutes later and you see he's pulled out his own little, he's got one of those little guns they use to like brown up the food a little bit. And he's using it himself to just fucking char the piece of meat into a goddamn charcoal crisp on the table. And you're like, you know, you're actually a psychopath, right, Florencio? Yes, he called that nuke down after the game ended. Yes, he's still in there enjoying killing the units. Let's go to Florencio's camera. Sometimes he just stops to talk to chat at the end of the game. He didn't actually kill everything. Apparently, guys, killing hundreds of drones and overlords already over the last few minutes was already enough. You're a psychopath, Florencio. Shout out to him, though, for multiple times baiting that army backwards through itself. That happened like 3 times on this map. I just want to watch the first one from the Zerg's point of view one more time. So let's check this out, guys. So the Zerg's chasing him. He's like, A moving. There's a battlecruiser in the natural. He hasn't noticed there's a whole bunch of tanks up there. So he looks at home and he goes, oh no. So he F2 A moves his army home, starts moving his spore over and doesn't realize. So half of his army does return south. He thought the whole army would return that way. And the army just walks right past Flo's army. I'm surprised any of those units got home. That was actually surprising. And he doesn't even realize. Oh, that's painful. Bad luck, Montreal. Well played, Florencio. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you, everyone, for watching. If you want to support the channel, please check out the Patreon below. We'll catch you in the next episode. Big thanks to Jacob G and Maxan, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Goodbye and good night.